Yeah, well, actually, it's my father. When I was growing up, he had an aviation company in Fresno, and so those were jobs that I did out at the Fresno Air Terminal, where he had his base of operations. And I did a lot of, work from the time I was 6, 7 years old. I've been around aviation, helicopters specifically. And so that's where the passion started. It wasn't until the mid-70s I started working on my private pilot's license. Then I had to take a hiatus there, and it wasn't really until I got married that my wonderful wife said, "You got to finish up and you got to get your pilot's license." So that's how I got into flying. Well, you got to remember, so when we're down on the ground, we're technically in a two-dimensional plane. We can go right, we can go left, straight forward. So we're on that plane. So when you're in an airplane, you're in a three-dimensional plane. Now you add the height component. When you're in a small plane and you're in this three-dimensional environment, looking down 99 and being able to see 4 or 5 cities, 100 miles out, that is a very surreal environment. I realize there's not a large population that is ever able to do that kind of stuff. So not only am I fortunate enough to be able to do it, but once you're exposed to it, you're just in an entirely different environment that is just hard to explain unless you've actually done it. For the business, what we found, and Lance and I talked about it, without forcing anything, it had to work out well. We got this asset, we got the plane, and technically we cover from Southern California to Northern California. And Todd, you're in sales, you need to travel down to certain locations. So we found that making calls and utilizing the airplane of places that are 2 hours drive away makes a lot of sense. Case in point, we're doing a job in Reedley, and that's over a 2-hour drive. It's a 28-minute flight. And so I take down the project manager there, and we get to call on the client once a week and then bring that project manager 28 minutes down. He's there for a couple hours. I'm doing my work in the FBO office. We're back in the office by 11 o'clock. We're just starting to get into how we can utilize the plane more and be more efficient. But so far, it's proven to be invaluable, and hopefully we can use it even more in the future. You can also ask I'll just interject, just how that's been segued. I don't know if you had the question about what, I should say, one of the reasons why I like working at Telsan, because the owner had a plane and he's asking me to fly his plane anytime I want. So how many companies that would do that?